Hello everybody, I am Razorblade Mango, and I am here today to review one of the big Sony exclusives this year, the Order 1886. Now, keep in mind this is going to be a spoiler review, so if you haven't played the game yet and you don't want me to spoil, you don't want to be spoiled, like all the big story stuff that happens, do not watch this. I don't want to say go buy the game because the game is a piece of shit, but just I don't know if you don't want to be spoiled, go on YouTube and watch it. Just fuck it, just do that. But yeah. So, and also another thing, since I talked very extensively about why I believe the game's cinematic aspect is not well deserved, that it's cinematic. It's a cinematic style through gimmicks and not effort. If you want me to elaborate more on that, like go watch the prologue I put up to this review, because I go into it in a lot of detail there. So I'm not gonna like regurgitate all that here. I'm gonna talk about all the other stuff that I had problems with, and even the stuff that I liked about the game. So, general consensus so far. If you really don't know by now, I really do not like this game. I don't hate it. It wasn't like I don't hate it on the level of something like Watch Dogs or Evil Within, because those games I found I would classify those as like not kind of torturous. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to be so over dramatic but yeah, those games were fucking torture. To me, I felt like physically strained trying to get through those, because those were just so fucking uninteresting and boring, and in Watch Dogs' case, offensive, and just made me feel just sick to my stomach. It was just an awful experience playing through those. But it wasn't like horrible, gut-wrenching feeling playing through the Order. It was just, it was just more befuddling than anything. And again, it was just, I just sat there and I was like, whew, because this game apparently started development in 2010, and this thing's been going on for 5 years now. And I just, like, the whole time I was playing it, I just sat back and I was like, who in those 5 years of development decided that this was okay to release? And not on the level that it's not a buggy game, because it's actually, like, to be fair, it's one of the more like graphics wise and frame rate wise, and like just overall like engine quality wise, not with any bugs or glitches. It's really impressive. It's one of the better ones I've seen in a while. Probably because it's so goddamn short, so they had all that time to just iron out everything about it. But it's just, as far as like the content and the story and just the gameplay, I just sat there and I was just so confused. I was like, who thought this was a good idea? Who sat there during, like, all those, which I'm sure they had, multiple QA sessions and all these, like, team meetings, just really sat back and looked at this and didn't say, wow, you know what, I think people deserve more. We should go back to the drawing board. I don't understand how that never happened during, like, the 5 years this thing was in development. And it took 5 years. 5 years! That's a long time to develop a game. To create one of the most unimaginative, uninspired, lazy, derivative, and just flat out boring games I've played in a while. It's all this money and time just went down the crapper. Like, I mean, I understand where the money went. The money obviously went into the graphics and the sound design. That's where the money is. All the money. It's like the ultimate irony of the Order 1886 is that this thing is so, like, just pushing this idea onto everybody that, yes, we're trying to be like a movie. We're trying to be cinematic. Is that it ends up feeling like a really soulless, lame Hollywood movie that it feels like one of those movies that they just like have like a script just floating around out there that's just totally cliche and super predictable, and they just like have one unique spin to it, and they just throw a shitload of money onto it and release it kind of like as a filler movie during the summertime, or one of those movies, excuse me, that they just dump out in January or February. That, which is funny. That's exactly what happened with this game. Except they're marketing this like it's gonna be the next big, like, next huge exclusive. Like, it's gonna be the next fucking God of War or Uncharted. And it's not even close to being on the level. It's not even like not even 1/10 of the quality that those games are. Not even fucking close. It's just baffling that it's just a bad movie. It's not just a bad game. It's a bad movie. And that's all they were marketing. That's all they had going for this game, apparently. That's all the aspirations that were there. Because it's very clear that no effort beyond the typical, oh, we gotta do like basic programming, that a lot of the effort really went into like the gameplay or the level design or the guns or the enemy AI, and it's all so like annoyingly routine, and it's a game of whack-a-mole. You're paying for a 5 to 6 hour game of whack-a-mole. That's all you're doing. And it's annoying that all like this effort went into the graphics and intentionally like downscaling it and putting all this fucking film grain in to make it look like a movie and fucking with the depth, the field of view and everything. And it was just, it's like, how the fuck does this justify how does this justify like this price, this fucking price, this asking price of $60. I just don't understand it. Now, that being said, let me actually, before I go into like the spoiler territory, which I am, don't worry, is that, let me talk about what I actually liked about the game. And there are some things. One, yes, the graphics are very impressive. I'm not gonna go so far as to say like they're one of the best they're not some of the best I've ever seen as far as like overall quality, because like I said, the film grain and then the fucking the way they try to make it look like a movie with all the lens and shit kind of ruins some of that. But character models, fantastic. Facial detail, absolutely incredible. And really, truly next-gen shit right here. This is the future, and if only it was just applied to a better game, this would be amazing. And like I said in my other video, the core concept of this game, when I heard the concept of this game, that it was going to be like a Victorian era Knights of the Round Table, where the knights already found the Holy Grail and are using it to fight off this like werewolf lichen invasion in London, and I thought that was just such an awesome concept. Even that trailer that was released 2 years ago at E3, that was great. I looked at that and I went, holy shit, this looks fucking awesome. I cannot wait for this. And again, they don't do jack shit with that concept. They just have something. It's like somebody made a delicious cake and then just threw it on the ground and left it there, and just had all these people just walk all over it. You made something that was beautiful, and then you just ruined it with all this other bullshit. And it was just frustrating. But like I said, every time I talk about something positive, it's like, but, there's always a big but at the end of it. Except for like the things that don't have like even the weapons. Some of like the weapon designs are really cool. Thermite rifle, cool. That lightning gun, cool. Guess how many times you get to use it during the game? Maybe 3 times max. Where these should have been like the most unique items, and they are the most unique items in the game, and you could use them the whole time, and you would have really challenging enemies that maybe they would have their own set of weapon, and it's like, no, we're just gonna use them a few designated times, and all the other times you have to use your fucking pistol and your shotgun and your sniper, and it's just so uninspired. But again, it's so uninspired. Really good music, really good sound design, really quality voice acting. But the voice acting, great. The characters themselves, how they're written, are bland and flat and totally underdeveloped and uninteresting. Sound design is fine. It's great. There's really no like but attached to that. The music, very good, but it doesn't feel like, it's not like how do I really don't know how to put this. It's like there's really no personality to this music. I mean, like subjective wise, like on a superficial level of like hearing it, it's pleasing. It's musically very nice, very well orchestrated, very well put together. But the music itself just does not have a soul. It's somewhat inspired, but besides like the Knights theme, it's not really like iconic. And even the Knights theme is not really iconic. I mean, it's very good. It's not like the music of God of War, that when you hear the music of God of War, you go, oh yes, something epic is about to happen. This is like top-notch stuff. When you hear the music for like Transistor, or Destiny, or Shadow of the Colossus, or Halo, though, when you hear the music, you know you are in for an experience, a unique experience. Like, I cannot listen to the music of, like, and the highest example I can give, of course, is, like, Kingdom Hearts. Whenever I hear the music of Kingdom Hearts, I always get, you know, it warms my body. It just makes me feel good hearing this music, and I know that I'm in for something special. Whenever I hear the dearly beloved theme at the beginning of each game, I know I'm in for something special, because that score has such a dynamic personality to it. And it's so iconic and wonderful and inspired. And like I said, the music of the Order 1886 is very good, but not great, because it feels manufactured. It feels manufactured to be like the background to like all this other shit going on. It's not even half as interesting as the music. Also, the opening chapters are not bad. There's like some cutscenes do drag on for a very long time, like way too long. But I liked the idea of the Zeppelin, the Zeppelin level that you've seen in all the trailers and the demo that came out at the PlayStation Experience. That level, not awful, not really all that great, but it's alright. You know, it gets the job done. The first time you're in that level, like in the hospital, the one that was shown at E3 last year, that's a really nice looking level. It's very atmospheric and cool. There's little details in the background. But everything after that is just so lazy and so uninspired, and it's just the same thing from other games, just regurgitated and not even close to being as interesting. Also, like the last other positive things I'll say about they're purely like really superficial, but the game is surprisingly bloody. Like I knew it was gonna be like an M rating, but I didn't think they'd be like taking people's like limbs off and heads were exploding. I mean, that was kind of cool, like in a exploitation-esque kind of way. It was pretty cool. I mean, it sold me on that the situation was gritty and bloody, and I liked that. And there's also some, and I like this word, there's some very refreshing male nudity. There's so many games out there that show tits and ass, tits and ass, tits and ass, but it's nice to see a game every now and then that is not afraid to show the male anatomy. Like, and I'm not just talking about like a quick shot of somebody's like penis. I'm talking about like a fully animated penis that is like not like zoomed in on, but it's clearly visible. And it's like, okay, you know, it's there, and it's nice to see male nudity every now and then, because I feel like we get like overabundance on female nudity, which, you know, I'm not. Sometimes I think it's deserved. A lot of the times, I'm like Watch Dogs, I'm just kind of like, oh my god. But yeah, wow. What does that say about a game when penis is like one of the highlights? Oh my god. Now for the bad. God damn. As far as this story goes, it's bad. It's a bad story that is so laughably like cliche and predictable and stereotypical, and you see the twists and turns coming a mile away. You can predict pretty much everything that's going to happen. I was literally calling out lines before the characters even said them, and I knew what was going to happen. Like, I'm like, oh god, I've seen this over and over again, and not only games, I've seen them in movies, I've seen them in TV shows. And since this is a spoiler review, let me give you an example of how cliche this game is. So, are you ready? I'm gonna spoil most of it. So if you made it this far and you don't want to be spoiled, stop right here. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to turn off the review. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you are one of the top guys in this organization that is trying to stop this rebellion, this opposing force. But when your mentor is killed in action under very shady circumstances, you start to question your own loyalty. And then you start to question, like, what you're really fighting for. And then you realize, oh, the opposing force you've been fighting all along are the good guys. And the guys you've been working with are the bad guys. So you have to betray your loyalty, go join the other side, and fight your own people. And friends that you have in the organization turn their backs on you and think you're the enemy. And then something big happens where you trust one of the guys from your order, in this case it is the order, to say, like, yes, I have discovered something corrupt in our organization. Please help me. And then you find out, oh, one of the big cheeses in the city, he's corrupt. So then you go to take care of him, and then you find out, oh, the partner that you trusted, that is saying the whole time, oh yes, we're blood brothers, and who's giving you really shady looks, betrays you, and goes, oh yes, I know what's going on. And I'm gonna frame you for murder. That way you're gonna go to prison, or you're gonna be sentenced to death. How could he be so stupid? How did he not see that coming, that the most shady-looking guy in his organization was, in fact, one of the villains? Oh my god! So then he manages to break out of prison and join forces again with the opposing side that he's now buddies with. And also, get this, his love interest, that, oh, they can't be together because they're bound by duty and honor. She's now against him, and she's gonna go after him now. And you have the one guy on your team that believes you. And also you find out that the guy that's supplying you weapons the whole game, he is with the opposing side as well. Oh my god, what a twist! So, this script, and I'm not saying every script, like, not every script is original. There really is not such a thing. There's very rare occurrences where a script does not reuse certain things or certain stories. Like, there's like a really good example of this would be like Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor. It has a very typical, you know, like open world structure to it. You do like the escort missions, you do the side missions, you do the helping out a potential love interest mission, and voila, you got your open world story right there. But the main difference between that and this is that Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor borrowed a lot, but gave something back. They gave something back in the way of the Nemesis system, and they added their own unique spin to it within the story. And no, the main campaign is not affected by like all the dynamic shit going on, but you do have to attain a certain amount of friends from the orcs at some point in the game. So there's that. The Order 1886 borrows, and borrowing is putting it nicely. I want to say steals. It steals all these like plots and subplots and ideas and just throws them all together in this like half-baked, underdeveloped script that has like a shitload of money thrown at it, and it's just, it doesn't give anything back. In fact, it's not even a complete game. It's not a complete game. This game doesn't have an ending. And this is where one of my biggest problems with the ending. If I were to ever call an element of this game insulting, this is what I would say is insulting. That ending, that goddamn fucking ending, it's pathetic. It's like, it's one of the worst, not only video game endings, it's one of the worst endings I've ever seen to anything. I mean, like in a day and age when indie titles are delivering satisfying conclusions to their games, be it like they're open-ended or they like leave something to the imagination, or they deliver like every concrete plot element there. They wrap it up in a nice little bow. Whatever. They put effort into it. They put time. The ending to Transistor is fantastic. The ending to Gone Home is great. The ending to the Moon is wonderful. But you're telling me that with a... And let me tell you what the ending is. The ending is you're going up against the final boss. And it's the guy that you thought was your friend, but he betrays you. And you find out that he's a werewolf as well. You manage to like weaken him. Then the leader of the Order comes in and says, "Yes, he is my son. And I rescued him from the Lycans because I was forced to kill his father. But I could not kill a child. So I raised him as my..." It's like, do you remember that South Park episode where Randy wants to take the world's biggest shit, and Bono, it comes in at the end, and you find out that the doctor is the father of Bono, and Bono himself is a piece of shit and is a creature? That's what this reminded me of, and I just started like just shaking my head and just going, "Fuck this! I've seen this before," and they don't develop any of these characters that makes you give a shit about them. You don't give two fucking shits about your apparent like love interest in the game. You don't give a shit about like your quirky sidekick who's he's a womanizer because he's French. Get it? All French people are womanizers. And seriously, it can't get any fucking lazier. Your mentor who's gruff and stern, but, you know, he's proud of you and you're really good friends. But he fucking dies because guess what? He probably knew what was going on inside the organization. And, oh my god. And so, the leader of the organization walks up to you and is like, "I can't take the life of my son. Here, you must be a traitor so that they will never know that my son was a Lycan." So, literally the ending of this game, and they bring up all these other plot points. They even make a vague reference that Sherlock Holmes is in this world, or Dr. Watson, one of the two. It's probably Sherlock Holmes. How cool would that have been to have Sherlock fucking Holmes on your side fighting the Lycans? And guess what? Like one of the so-called villains in the game is a vampire. They don't do anything with that. They don't even do shit with the fucking werewolves. The werewolves are in it maybe 3 times. That's it. There's vampires in this fucking game too. They don't do shit with the vampires. So, And then they make references like Jack the Ripper is apparently the vampire that's like the higher up that you're forced to kill. Whatever, not forced to kill, but you're going after. And then like they make reference like the Nikola Tesla. Like I said, he's like the guy that makes weapons for you. But you find out at the end that he's really working for the rebels. Why is he working for the rebels? And they even ask Tesla, like the main character asks somebody, why is Tesla on our side? And then she just goes, oh, I'll let Tesla explain. Because, you know, we're going to have a sequel, so Tesla can explain in the sequel. And then they have a thing where it's like, Lady Igraine, the love interest, she wants to kill you, and that's it. They don't bring her back at all. They don't talk about her ever again. She's just dropped from the game. And then your sidekick, Marquis, he's in it like a split second at the end. He's like, oh yeah, I somewhat believe you, so I'm going to stand here in the corner and let you go. That's it. And like all this other crap just comes in out of nowhere, and it's just, it is so dumb. It's like they intentionally leave everything unresolved just so they can get a sequel or fucking DLC. I don't know which was more insulting. You are charging $60... Oh, I forgot to talk about the ending. And it ends with you pointing a gun at the guy, and then I literally called this. I was like, please don't do what I think you're going to do. Which is, shoot the guy, and as soon as the shot is heard, it cuts to black. And it goes, The Order 1886. Directed by, who gives a fuck, whatever. And I just sat there on my gaming chair, and I just like looked at the screen, and as soon as those fucking button prompts come up, you press X and you press R2. And I was like, please don't do what I think you're going to do. I pressed X. Please don't do what I think you're going to do. Please don't do it. And the button prompt for R2 comes up, and I was like, seriously? Don't fucking... And I pressed it, and the shot was fired, and it cuts to black, and Order 1886 title comes up. Credits, directed by whoever gives a fuck. I just like, fuck this game. Fuck this shit. Fuck this ending. Fuck whoever wrote this ending. This is fucking ridiculous. This isn't even an ending. It just stops. It just fucking stops. It's the worst kind of sequel baiting ever. It's pathetic. It's insulting. You paid $60 for a so-called cinematic experience, so we're gonna give you the worst kind of cinematic experience by not even offering a fucking conclusion. Thanks a lot, Ready at Dawn and Sony Santa Monica Studios. Thanks a lot. Thanks a fucking lot. Do you remember that movie, The Golden Compass, that came out back in like 2007 or 2006, whatever the fuck it was? That movie was supposed to have a sequel to it, but rather than delivering a satisfying conclusion, they left it open. They end on like one of the biggest cliffhangers I've ever seen a movie end on. And it was like, that's it? That's fucking it? Are you fucking kidding me? So there's that. And that was like, oh yes, because we'll have a we'll have a cliffhanger, we'll definitely get a sequel. It is 2015, 8 years later, or 7 years later, or whatever it is. Have they even announced that they're considering working on a sequel to The Golden Compass? No. No, they're not. Because guess what? No one gave a shit about it. Because they didn't put any fucking effort into that movie. From what I can remember. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But I remember it just being so lazy and underdeveloped. And to me, that's not what warrants a sequel, guys. When I played God of War or Uncharted, I was like, yeah, I definitely would take a sequel. Because like I said in my other video, you have to your first effort has to stand alone. Even Star Wars, one of the most famous trilogies of all time, the first movie, when you watch that stands alone. If they had never made another movie after that, that would have been a satisfying ending. Terminator, the first Terminator movie, satisfying ending. The first Alien movie, satisfying ending. Those have to stand alone. Now, if you manage to do that, have a standalone conclusion where it's interesting and satisfying, and people want to see more, then yes! By all means do a sequel! By all fucking means! But do not do this bullshit where you want to go, yes, we're going to leave everything intentionally open just so we can, like, practically try to force Sony to greenlight us for a sequel, because it's not going to happen! It ain't going to happen, guys. It ain't going to happen. The Order 1887-2 or the Order 1887... No! No one's going to want that shit. You know why? Because you didn't deliver a satisfying experience the first fucking time around. So why the fuck would people trust you with their hard-earned money to deliver a good experience the second time? Why? When you can't even give them the goddamn fucking courtesy of delivering them a satisfying ending the first time around? So yeah, we're gonna give you another $60 so we paid $120 on this fucking series and we're still gonna get cliffhangers now? Fuck no! That's bullshit! And oh my god, I feel so sorry for the people that got conned into buying that fucking ludicrous $165 with tax and everything. That $165 premium edition. Holy shit! You paid $165 for nothing. You might as well have just gone to a bridge and thrown $165 in cash off the bridge and just let it go into the water, sink to the bottom, be fucking useless. You might as well have just gone to a shell game on the side of the street, given that guy $165 and blown the whole fucking thing. Because that's the exact same experience playing this fucking game. $165? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Jesus God! $165! When it's not even worth the original $60 asking price! It's not even worth $10! God! Look, I get it. I understand, like ridiculous collector's editions for games that have established pedigrees, like Arkham Knight, Witcher 3, stuff like that. If they're good, if they're good value, people will buy them. Okay? I want to get the collector's edition for The Witcher 3. I have that pre-ordered. I want to get the limited edition for Arkham Knight. I have that pre-ordered because I trust CD Projekt Red. I trust Rocksteady Studios because I've enjoyed past entries in those series. This is a new property that's not established, and they're gonna go all the fuck out and say $165 please for a 5-hour game with no replayability, just so you can have a stupid steel case and a fucking statue. Really? Really, guys? Ugh. It's not even an ending. That's the sad... Oh, and get this, there's a mid-credits scene that further hints at a sequel. You're definitely going to want to stick around for that mid-credits scene, because it's just going to... Let me wrap up what the mid-credits scene is. It can be summed up in one line. My work here is not yet done. That's it. That's all you need to know. Okay? That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. There's this completely fucking unsatisfying game. And I haven't even talked about, like, all the small shit that goes on in this game. Oh my god, the weapons are so uninspired. The Blackwater regeneration shit is so fucking useless. Like I said, the black bars restrict your view whenever you're in cover, and you can't fucking see shit, so it just makes the whole fucking thing frustrating. Like I said, the werewolves in the game, barely in them. But when you fight against the werewolves finally, they're some of the most frustrating enemies I've ever played against. Worst are those shotgun assholes that come in, and just because there's 4 types of enemies in this game. There are generic dudes, there are shotgun experts, there are Lycans, and then there are elder Lycans. The elder Lycans, and what you've heard, if you heard the rumor that they recycled the same boss battle once at the beginning and the last boss battle at the end, those rumors are fucking true. And it's as fucking lazy as it sounds. And it's like, if there's no challenge, even on like hard difficulty, it's really not, besides being cheap with the shotgun AI, it's not a challenge. It's not. Not when most of the gameplay are these fucking quick time events and you got, oh, and the quick time events. Oh my god. They go back to that thing where it's like you're jamming on a button, like in God of War, when you're trying to, well, thankfully they got rid of that in God of War 3, when you're like trying to like lift up a door and you're just jamming on the circle button, and that shit gets annoying after a while because you're doing it over and over again. They go back to that for the Order 1886. Apparently, Ready at Dawn didn't fucking learn from God of War 3 that they don't want to do that anymore. And then, oh my god, the stealth sections? Awful! The awful stealth sections. They pissed me off so much. There's one stealth section on the Zeppelin near the beginning that was not awful, but it was just kind of annoying. Especially now, like, you're supposed to be sneaking up behind the enemy, but because you missed one button prompt, it's like the enemy will just suddenly hear you, turn around and shoot you point blank and kill you. You know, for being like this badass knight that supposedly, like, lived for centuries, and is supposed to be, like, a badass and one of the best guys in this order, he feels very underpowered. He feels like just every other generic fucking dude out there. There's nothing, it's not like you feel like the ultimate badass, like when you're fighting as Kratos, and I hate to keep going back to God of War, but that's all I could think about during this game. All I could think about was just, God, why am I not playing God of War right now? Because God of War does everything that this game is trying to do, except done right. It does the QuickTime events so much better. It does the epic sense of scale so much better. The cinematic effect so much better. Story so much better. Music so much better. It is just fuck the Order 1886. You know what? Let me tell you guys. If you are interested in playing the Order 1886, if you really want to know, like see all the cutscenes and everything, just go on YouTube. They're up there. They've been up there for a while now. You could see them, and it's like a 2-hour movie, and you'll probably get like a more enjoyable experience watching that. Because one, you didn't have to pay for this shit, and two, you won't have to deal with the fucking annoying like uninspired like stealth and shooting sections. There, I just saved you $60. Go watch this shit on YouTube. It's not even a rental. It's a fucking go watch it on YouTube thing. Because most of it is cutscenes anyway, and calling it a game is very fucking generous. Very generous. Like I said, it's more like a hand-holding game of whack-a-mole, where the game is basically telling you which moles to whack, and at what time. It's just... Even whack-a-mole requires more skill than this fucking game. You go to Chuck E. Cheese and play whack-a-mole, you'll have a better time playing that than this fucking game. And it's just, it's it's unacceptable. It's really goddamn unacceptable. And what was I gonna say? Also, if after you're done playing, not playing, watching the game on YouTube, go out and buy the God of War Saga. It's $20 for 5 of the best PlayStation exclusives out there. And you can see, because Ready at Dawn, I know they're not a bad studio. They were given too much creative freedom, and they went the entirely wrong direction with it. They did not know what to do with it. Or, like I said, or my other theory, where they knew what to do with it, but they did not have the correct guidance to make it worthwhile. So, go out and play God of War, the saga. Go find God of War. All those games are excellent. Ascension, no, I really did not care for Ascension, but the first 5 games in the series, they're superb. They're excellent. Why would you waste $60 on this piece of shit that isn't even half as long as an average God of War game, when you could go out and pay $20 and get 5 of the best fucking action games out there? I just... My mind is having trouble just absorbing the level of just stupidity and just my brain just won't let me go there, because I'm pretty sure if I started to think about this more, I'll just start bleeding from my eyeballs or something. I just don't get it. I'm just who? I just don't get it. And it makes me sad. And really, as much as I'm, angry at this game, it makes me sad above everything. I'm probably more sad about this than I am, like Watch Dogs. I mean, I'm not sad. Like I'm as far as like the disappointment scale is, there's like Destiny, there's like the mid-tier Watch Dogs, and there's like other shit. And even with like my really low expectations going this high skepticism, it still managed to disappoint me. I was heartbroken playing this because I wanted to come here and say, I wanted to say, I'm going to eat my words. This game is fucking phenomenal. But I ain't doing that because they didn't put the effort in to even think about. I just. It's just heartbreaking because Sony, if Sony like has not had a really amazing exclusive yet. They have not had an exclusive where it's like, yes, this is the reason to buy a PS4. And like I said, the closest games that come to that are PT, which is free and a demo and not even an hour long, which is still amazing, and Infamous Second Son, which is excellent. I don't think it's like must-have amazing, but it's an excellent game. And it's the closest thing they have to like a really fantastic exclusive. Really, like all the other shit that they've done has either been underwhelming or you can get it on a different console or a different gaming machine. Really, there's really... And this was supposed to be... oh my god, they're saying this is the future of gaming? Holy fuck. This is the future of gaming? Oh... shit, count me out. Fuck, I do not want game. I don't. Like I said, I hope this game bombs. I hope this game just becomes so obsolete within like a week that probably like guys at Ready at Dawn just sit back and go, holy shit, what were we thinking? Oh my god, what have we done? What is this monstrosity that we have created? This is the future of games. Holy shit. This cinematic experience bullshit. Fuck that. No. No. Kiss my ass. No, that ain't gonna happen. And I wanted to be nice to this game. I was gonna come here and just say, well, you know, despite my problems with it, it's not like the worst fucking thing ever. But I can't be nice. Especially after that ending. I was like, hell no. No. You're not gonna get away with that shit. That's criminal. This is a con job. Which, I never thought I would say this about a Sony exclusive with this kind of money behind it and an idea, a concept like this. And if I had told myself, like back then, like E3 2013, when I first saw the trailer for this, that I'd be here now talking mad shit about this game and saying that it was a big waste of time and a big waste of money, I would have laughed in my own face. But here I am now. I'm absolutely telling you guys that. Don't buy this game. Don't even rent this game. Don't even, like, borrow it from a friend. Just go on YouTube and watch it. Just go on YouTube. Save the hard drive space on your PS4s. Because this thing is unreasonably large. It's like 50 gigabytes, which I was like, my god! Why is this so huge? It's 50 fucking gigabytes! Well, 32 really, when you download from the store, but on the box, when you look at it on the box, like when you see 50 gigabytes, crap! Holy crap! I didn't understand, I understand stuff like Grand Theft Auto 5 and The Witcher 3 being 50 gigabytes, that's fine. Those are massive fucking games. But this game? That's not even, it doesn't even like require like a quarter of a day to beat. 50 gig, oh my god. 50 gigabytes. And two other points before I sign off. One, the best moment in this game is this part that's like unintentionally hysterical, where Galahad grabs like this is after like his mentor is killed. It's like the mission after his mentor is killed, and he goes out and he's fighting the rebels, and he's trying to find the leader of the rebels, who's a woman. And actually, that's another positive thing I can say about the game. There's a very prevalent role for Indians in this game. Yeah, there's some like really big like minority characters in this, which I actually appreciated. I liked that. But that's a very not minute, but it's like it can get lost in the background amongst all this other crap. But I just wanted to point that out because that is something I'd like to see more games do. Is that it's like and I'm laughing just thinking about it. It's Galahad grabs this goon, repeatedly like punches him in the face to interrogate him, and shouts, "Where is she?" over and over and over again. And I don't know if this was like an intentional reference to The Dark Knight, but I laughed my ass off during this part. This is just goes to show how out of touch the script is, how lazy it is, and just how unintentionally hilarious this shit can get. Oh man, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's just bad. Oh my god. And second thing I want to say is that Ready at Dawn has been like doing this like victim thing lately where they're like, oh, people are just finding reasons to hate our game, and like the internet is being mean to us, and everyone's talking shit about our game, and it's quality over quantity, and we tested it out, and with lots of exploring we got it to 8 to 9 hours long, but I left alone because everybody mean it. And okay, let me address Ready at Dawn directly. If anyone from Ready at Dawn is listening to this, guys, I've met some of you guys before. You guys are really nice. Okay? Really nice people. But shut up. Just, look, the internet will always be a den of wolves. Okay? That's just the reality of it. There are shitty people on the internet. There are people that are going to bash on your game no matter how much you get right. Okay? Even masterpieces like Kingdom Hearts and Last of Us and Shadow of the Glasses get shat on by a lot of people just because they don't like Sony. Or just because they don't like Square Enix or the company. They will not look at the game, or in this case they did, and they were absolutely right, and they're just going to shit on it no matter what. They're just people out there like that. All these like PC Master Race people that are just like, well, fuck your console game, it's a piece of shit. Why? Just because it's on the consoles. Have you played it? No, I just know it's shit. Well, and let me tell you guys something, Ready at Dawn. Deal with it. Okay? Deal with it. Or stop whining. Stop fucking whining. Stop trying to play yourself off like the victim here. You're not a serious case of internet bullying, okay? You're not. Okay? Your game has been getting very well-earned criticism, and stop crying about it. And then it makes it worse when you say, oh, it's quality over quantity, when the quality is this fucking shitty. So, shut up, fucking deal with it, grow a pair of balls, fucking deal with it, and here's a crazy idea. Actually spend time on your game, put an effort into it, and don't have it be goddamn 4 hours long, 5 hours long. Actually make a really amazing game. Sit back and look at this and say, is this really the best we can do? That's what I always want to do. You know, if I was ever making games, I would constantly go back, sit back, have a good, hard, objective look at my games and go, is this the best I can do? Because I highly doubt anybody did this while they were making the game, especially writing the ending. I highly doubt people within a 5-year span sat back and said, is this the best we can do? Should we go gold? And they even delayed this shit. Why did they delay it? Why? I don't get it. I understand why they delayed The Witcher 3. That game looks amazing even with its like not beta stage, but it's like not unpolished stage at this point. And it still looks better than this game does. So, shut up and just put effort into it. Here's a crazy idea. Make a quality game. Make a game that's worth a shit. Then come back and don't even complain then. Just let it go. And, you know, the product will speak for itself. You don't need to be constantly, like, having people kiss your ass to say, like, oh, it's okay, your game is doing really well. It's that, like stuff, like really great games they will get the hype. Okay? They will get the hype. People on the internet hype games up. That's what we like to do. We like to hype games up. Okay? Sometimes they don't deliver. Sometimes they don't. Destiny did not deliver. Watch Dogs did not deliver. Titanfall did not deliver. Evil Within did not deliver. Thief did not deliver. This did not deliver. Except this time, people saw this from the very beginning. They saw the problems that this thing could have, and they rightfully called you out on it. So don't come at us with that, oh, poor me. People are just looking for things to hate about our game. No, we don't have to look. They're right there. They're right there in our faces. And unless you're just an ignorant fanboy, or of course, if you subjectively love this game, I have absolutely no problem with that. But unless you're just being ignorant and you don't see it, yeah, the problems are right fucking there. So, like I said twice already, deal with it. Just deal with it, guys. Do better. Don't go back to this franchise. Don't even make another game. Just for a while at least. Just sit back, reflect on what you've learned from this experience, and improve. Improve from there. There are people out there that have made bad games, but have bounced back and made really cool stuff. Because they learned from the experience. They learned what to do and what not to do. They took feedback into consideration. They didn't just put blinders on. They didn't just put a blindfold around their eyes and said, oh yes, our game is amazing no matter what. Because that's what you're kind of doing. You're just putting on a blindfold and just trying to ignore the facts that it's getting a very divisive, borderline negative response to this fucking thing. And so, just learn. Just deal with the heat and prepare for the next wave. That's all you have to do. Just shut up and deal with it. And learn. Okay? Just learn. Alright, so anyway, guys. Thank you for what... Oh, God, I told myself I wasn't going to go over an hour. I'm not at an hour, but I'm pretty close to it. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of the game. You know, what you thought of it. If you disagree with me, why? Keep it civil. I don't want any of these fucking... I mean, I'm a Sony pony myself, but I don't want any of these guys coming up here and say, fuck you! You sucked! The Order 1886, it looks amazing. You're full of shit. Because I'm not going to believe you. Because I might, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, don't come up here and troll me, okay? I'm already in a bad mood just talking about this fucking game. Just don't troll me. Okay. Alright, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.